Good.
I love meringue, Cameron. Meringue is something that I think we think about a lot in the warm weather months because you put it with a lovely lemon curd and it's bright and refreshing. But today I'm going to show you how to make it really festive for the holidays because I love meringue. It's basically like glorified marshmallow, essentially.
It kind of is.
Yeah, and we're going to top it with a beautiful cranberry curd. And it's just all going to be balanced and beautiful.
Beautiful. Let's start with the meringue.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got some egg whites in there.
Yes, I'm going to get this going.
We're going to get that going a little bit, and now you're going to be adding some sugar to that. Is that the idea?
Yeah, so you want to get some just soft peaks initially. So we have our egg whites here. You want them to be room temperature.
Okay,
and so I have my sugar here. So my sugar is actually the extra fine sugar. It's called baker sugar as well. I recommend using this. And if you cannot find it, you can actually make your own. Just pop it into a food processor, and you can process it a little bit to lighten it up a little bit. And you just gradually add this, and you do want to do it slowly so that it can take on so that the sugar will basically blend in with it.
And that extra fine sugar, it helps it dissolve. But how do you know when the sugar actually is like officially dissolved in the meringue?
Oh, I love this as a tip. Okay, so one of the things I think people get freaked out when it comes to meringue. Here, I'm going to do what you shouldn't do, but I'm going to add the majority of this in. When it comes to knowing if it's done, what I would do is I would actually then take some of this and rub it between my fingers. And if it feels grainy, then you need to keep mixing. And that's a great tip because a lot of, basically, it will not work if you still have the sugar that still feels
this meringue is light and it's airy. And I got to tell you one thing about it that I love a lot is it's not too sweet. It's got the perfect amount of sweetness to it and a little bit of tartness from the cranberry curd. Oh, my goodness, Maria.
Yeah, that's what balances it out.
Okay, what are you adding in there? You put in a little bit of vanilla?
A little vanilla for, you know, that gourmet sweetness that you just really can't get from anything else. And then I'm adding in some cornstarch.
Okay.
The cornstarch is, it's going to help dry out the meringue.
And this is an interesting little ingredient that you're putting in now.
This is actually some vinegar. You can use some white vinegar. You could actually use some lemon juice, and that's just going to help to stabilize the meringue because we're working with egg whites here. And then you would continue to whisk, whisk, whisk.
Okay.
And once it's done, like I said, check with your fingers, and then you can make your little wreath.
And you put it into a piping bag here. This is a fancy little piping bag.
She's fancy. You can get this. You can do that at the bakery supply, or you can get this at the craft store.
Now, you know, I was wondering how you made that perfect circle that we saw over there.
Yes.
But you actually just use a plate and draw a circle.
Yeah. So actually, that's all you do. That's what you just said, Karen.
I know,
that's all
really.
I did. And then just a quick tip is that you want to make sure to flip it over. And what I'm actually going to do real quick, because I am working with meringue, it can slide when you're doing it. So I'm going to put some meringue on the corners.
Glue.
That's my glue.
She's
Pop this on.
a crafter and a DIYer no matter what.
Okay.
Awesome.
So now you just pipe this on.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow my circle. All right. So you can see here. I'm going to do a couple. And you just kind of want to evenly space it out. And so, Cam, what I will say you want to do, because we want...
I'll hold that for you.
Oh, there you go. A place for the cranberry curd to go.
Yeah.
So what I actually use a spoon and create like a little divot on here. And I know Cameron is just aching to use a pastry bag, so I'm going to let you finish.
Well, listen, you know, like I feel like I've come a long way in the kitchen. So I'm going to continue this wreath. Now, obviously, once that's done, it goes into the oven.
Yes.
You bake it. What temperature and for how long?
So the thing about meringue is it's actually a low temperature because what you're essentially doing is just drying it out, not necessarily baking the eggs.
Yeah.
And so it's a low temperature. It's 250 for about an hour. And then what I like to do is actually turn the oven off and then let it sit in the oven until it completely cools. But what you're looking for is that you're able to actually peel it off of the parchment paper.
Okay.
And even if it breaks, you can't tell because we're going to cover it.
Beautiful. And you're going to cover it with some yummy cranberry curd right here, right now.
So the thing about when you think about meringue, you want to balance it because it does have those really sweet flavors to it, like a marshmallow. So the thing about this cranberry curd, it's made in very similar way as a lemon curd, but with cranberries. And cranberries are of course, nice and tannic, and I just love it. So I am going to just pop this on here, and you could do, I mean...
Look at this, everybody.
It's just the best flavors of the season right here.
Oh, my goodness.
And you just continue to do this, and then I would just add in some...
I'll continue that while you tell us about these incredible and beautiful... I mean, the whipped cream is beautiful, too. But the garnishes that you've got there, the sugared rosemary?
Okay, yeah, so sugared rosemary, so it looks sort of like just the branches with snow on them. I love that. And I have some sugared cranberries. So what you want to do is create a simple syrup for this and actually put them in the simple syrup for a little while and let them dry and then coat them with the sugar, and then you just do some whipped cream, like you can see over there. And this is just, do you like it, Cameron? It's so pretty,
I love it.
too.
I love it. I love it. I've got meringue here. I'm making it. I'm eating it. I'm doing all of it all at once.
You're doing everything.
It's
and
like
then you
sensory overload. No, but look how beautiful this looks, Maria.
And you can eat these.
Oh,
They're
my
so
goodness.
beautiful, and then you just top it.
And
so I'm going to continue this.
super tasty. You keep going, everybody. This positively festive Christmas dessert recipe. Make sure you head over to hallmarkchannel.com. It'll all be there.